Hey guys, another video. We are going to do a bit more personal video about kind of all the Dave Ramsey people. Talks about you've got a nerd in a relationship and a free spirit. On the whole, Kemi fits the free spirit and I fit the nerd. I'm the one with the spreadsheets and all the constantly changing the budget. Not changing the budget, but working with the budget, making sure all the numbers are right and all that kind of thing. And Kimmy couldn't care less.
That doesn't mean I don't appreciate a good spreadsheet. But I don't need to look at it every day.
Or once a month.
No. You tell me where to put my money, that's where I'll put it.
That's kind of how we have established ourselves in our relationship. But as I said, we both fit the description free spirit nerd best. But I quite often want to buy things.
And I just won't stop them.
Yeah. So I know I shouldn't buy it, and I know I don't need it, but it takes a lot for me to not buy it because we're on the budget. Now, I've never spent money that's not in the budget. I'll just budget stuff in, which we don't really need. So yeah, so I've got quite a free spirit as well.
I think we're right bad for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Craig wouldn't ever stop me buying something.
Yep.
If I said, oh, I want that, you would go, that's fine, just go ahead, and vice versa. If he was like, oh, I would like to buy that, I would just let you buy it.
Yep.
But that's been quite a difficult change for us, so that one of us has to be the one that goes no and say, no, we shouldn't be buying that just now, or we need to budget in for next month if we want to have it, well, along those lines anyway.
Yeah.
I find the budget much harder.
Yes.
Than you do. I do not like budgeting at all, especially after a couple of months. The first few months that we did it, I just felt like we had less money, which, you know, feasibly is true because we were paying off our debts and we weren't putting things on credit cards and things like that.
And I was spending less time at work getting the overtime, so I think for the first few months we did actually have less money, but we still had way more than we need to actually live. Yeah,
I mean, we're very blessed with what we have. I mean, we can't by any manner of means that we don't get both a good wage, and certainly between us, when you look at it, we should have a lot more money in a month.
Yes.
Than we did had we done it at the start.
Yeah.
It would have been something totally different.
Yeah. I think also a lot of our debts came from purchasing the house. We had a decent deposit gifted to us by my mum. I had saved some money just when I still stayed with my parents. I was relatively good with money in as much as I didn't spend all my wage plus thousands in credit cards. I just spent all my wage, so I had a sort of 5,000-6,000 put aside.
And then I got a ring.
Yeah, and then I lost all my money.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so like the house renovations, a lot of it was paid for in cash, but we had to rewire the whole house and fit full set gas central heating, which I think totals about 10 grand. Plus the 10 grand was just for that. That was minus the repair work that we had to do. Once you've fitted all those things, you've done a lot of damage to the house. So the redecorating and things costed a good few thousand.
For the first couple of months as well, the first good 6 weeks to 8 weeks, we were, because we didn't have any electricity, we had one plug, I think. But we were both living here because I had given up my flat so that we could stay in the house.
You hadn't given it up, you were...
No, I was at the end of my lease, so there was no point renewing it for 6 months when I had a house that I was paying for, so we were sleeping on a mattress in the middle of the living room floor. Yeah. And it meant that a lot of things you can't really do a weekly shop. No. Or anything like that, because we had one tiny beer fridge. Yep. That kept some milk and a bit of sandwich stuff in it.
Yeah, and it didn't last that long, so you couldn't even buy...
In bulk.
Yeah, kinda... The milk would, if you left it in for more than a week, it went off.
And it had to be the little tiny ones.
Yeah.
This size.
So, it was kind of, you know,
It's not conducive to budgeting.
Yeah, 30 times more expensive to live for the first while. I mean, as it is, the house is far from. It's not in a bad state of repair. It's just far from nice to live in. In a way, nice. I'm happy living in the house. Don't get me wrong, but it's just there's offcuts of carpet are being used as a carpet and things.
We'll show you. There's just out there.
But it's one of those things we're working towards it, and we are paying mostly cash. So yeah, a lot of our debts came from actually buying the house, and.
But it was also just the fact that was the first time we'd lived together. Yeah. Was after we were engaged. We bought the house. We were 6 months, and then we were married.
Another expense.
Another expense here when you get married, although my dad paid for a majority of that. So again, very, very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
That we could have been in a lot worse debt position right now if we hadn't had so much generosity.
Mm-hmm.
And as good jobs as we do. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, it was the first time that we'd kind of lived together. So as well, you want to do things. Yeah. We still wanted. We'd been used to dating and going out and going for meals or going to the cinema, all that kind of stuff. So we didn't want to completely just stop doing everything.
Yeah.
We were going as the first 6 months, first year that we've been married. We wanted to do stuff.
Yeah.
We wanted to be able to go out, and it's different than having to say no. We won't do that. We'll just stay in, and you want to see people, and you get used to having your own house. So you have people around and pay for dinners and things like that as well. So there's a lot of different things to consider.
Yeah, it goes back to Kimmy's over enthusiasm to pay for things for people. She will fight with people in a bar about who's paying for their rounds.
I don't punch them.
Close to it. It's always entertaining to watch her and my mum fight because they're both equally, they always pay for everything.
Mom's good. She's like a ninja.
She is.
When it comes to actually giving money. But yes, I would much rather pay for things, and I dislike not being able to do it. I don't like asking people to do stuff and not being able to pay for it for them. As in, I would like to ask them round and say, well, do you want to come round and have a takeaway? And then not be able to pay for that.
But on the other, we invite people around and we cook. Well, I cook more than you do for people now. I like barbecuing, so we have decent sized barbecues. And everyone comes around. Yeah,
when you invite 25 people around for a barbecue, the sheer amount of meat involved in that costs a lot of money, never mind having to get other things in. So it's always just a BYOB.
Yeah. So that's kind of where a lot of our money, we've scaled back on a lot of things in our life, plus also we now don't feel the need to be out every weekend. Kind of on dates. Yeah.
Is what it means. We're an old married couple. We spent the last 2 Saturdays with our friends in their house. Watching DVDs and having a takeout.
Yeah.
And that was our treat. Neither of us drink that much anymore. You've not drunk since New Year's. Nope. I don't really drink. So.
Which saves a lot of money when you used to drink £100 a week.
Yeah. Did like that.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, you can put the drink away. That's not that we're stereotyping the Scottish here at all.
No.
Both of us can drink.
That is kind of how we set ourselves up in the budgeting team and in our relationships. Free spirit, nerd with a habit of spending things. And
rubbish nerd.
Yeah.
So no, we thought we'd say Craig talks more in the videos, and you'll see some weeks I'm grumpy because some weeks I find it harder than others. I still struggle with it a lot more than I would like to be. I would like to be like a perfect 50s housewife and, you know, make everything from scratch and preserve this and do that and the next thing. I'm getting there.
When are you starting?
It's not happening. So yeah, I do still struggle, and I'm a bit more tempted to just go, it's great, we'll just spend money on that.
Yeah.
And I need to try and not do it. I'm trying. I'm doing my very best. Last couple of months we've been okay.
Yeah, we've been really good the last sort of since we came back from Florida. I think we both had in Florida we had the kind of, as on the forums that we were on, the light bulb moment in a way that this is us. We need to. That's us. Kind of draw the line under the sand. We'll move on. We'll get it. So the last 2 months, we've probably paid about £1,800 to our debts, which is a tenth almost, more than a tenth of the debt. So that's really good. And yeah, so I've adapted to the budgets a lot easier because I like kind of having it all methodically laid out and not sort of changing the plan once I've made a plan. I like to keep to it. So my budget it clicked for me quite quickly, and also I was the one that sort of wanted to start I read the Dave Ramsey book and wanted to find out more about it, looked into it, and that was where...
I'm not adverse to it because
No.
I don't think you can do it. I find it very odd. We've read a lot where one person's doing it and the other person's not, and they're married, and I don't really understand how that works because surely your money's joint money.
Well, yeah. So we're both on board and we're both trying, but it's just I found it a lot easier to get started and settle into it. Kemi was a lot more hesitant and slower to come to the board. We'll leave it there, and
We'll do that. Next week I
catch
might
you
do
next
one
week.
on how we've managed to get our food shopping down because that's kind of the biggest saving we've made month on month. And you've got another wee handy tip that we've been using for the last couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. For which is food based as well. So I might do that and just have that as next week's video for you in case you're interested.
So we'll leave it there and we'll get you tomorrow, next week.
Bye.
See ya.